Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Liam from Pushsquare, and Sony have just released the first major firmware update for the PlayStation 5 since its original release last November. This update, named 21.01-03.00.00.38, that's an odd numbering convention, adds a lot of nice little changes to the system, but there are three that are the most notable. For starters, you can now move your PlayStation 5 games over to an external hard drive. This means that you can save space on your internal SSD by storing games you've already installed by moving them over to your external drive. You can't play your PlayStation 5 games via the drive like you can with PlayStation 4 games, but this does still save space and is very handy. Just as an FYI, once you commit to transferring a game, you will be unable to use your console until the action has been completed, which, based on our testing, takes around 45 minutes for an average sized game, so please do bear that in mind. Alongside that, there are a couple of other additions and changes. GameBase has been improved to allow you to switch between parties and manage notifications. You can also quickly disable game chat, which mutes your mic and turns off other players' audio as well. You can even adjust the mic volume of other people in your party, so if you have a pal who talks too loud, you can just adjust their volume independently without hurting their feelings. And finally, developers can now allow you to pre-download important updates, meaning you can jump back into your games the second the patch is available to play. That means that there should, in theory, be no more waiting around for long Fortnite or Warzone updates to finish downloading before you can get back into the action, which is nice. But as cool as those features are, that's not what I'm here to talk about today. There's a lot more to this update than Sony have revealed, and we've taken the time to poke around to uncover all of its hidden secrets. So these are 12 features of the PlayStation 5's first major firmware update that you may not know about. Okay, so let's start off with a nice easy one. If you go into your control center, you can now manage downloads and uploads directly from this panel, whereas before you had to go into the actual downloads copies section. This means that you can prioritize downloads like this without having to go into a separate section, which is really handy. In the trophy section, you can now view hidden trophies by simply selecting the trophy card and pressing square to see the hidden information. Before, you had to go into a separate submenu and press a separate button, so it makes it much easier now just to go in, press square, and see what you need to do to get that hidden trophy. This is another nice little UI addition. The official news section here shows you updates from games that you follow, and you can unfollow by going into them and going down to this bit and unfollowing game if you want to, but now you can manage your followed games within a specific section. One way of getting to it is to view a news article, press the three dots and press manage followed games. However, you can also get to this information by going to the settings screen, going all the way down to saved data and game app settings, go all the way down to followed games, manage followed games, and this now shows you all of the games that you follow, so you can unfollow ones you don't want to know anything about. For instance, why do I need to know about Batman Arkham Knight? Let's unfollow that. Another nice UI feature is on a game that supports activity cards like Control Ultimate Edition. I can look at some trophy information within these activity cards. So for instance, Strange Collection, I'm 65% of the way through, but if I want to see the full trophy list, you couldn't do that before, but now I can press the options button and click go to trophies, and I can view all of the trophies for that game and have a look at them all together rather than just the ones that are being displayed as part of the activity card view. If you have a PlayStation 4 game on an external hard drive, there's now a new icon that will show you that the game is on that device. You can see here that our copy of Minecraft on PlayStation 4 is stored on an external USB hard drive. Our guess is that this alteration is laying the groundwork for the internal NVMe slot that Sony will open up access to hopefully later in the year, so the PlayStation 5 will be able to distinguish between USB storage and internal expanded storage. If you have a nice fancy monitor that can support 120Hz output or 120 frames per second, you can now automatically tell the PlayStation 5 to enable this in games that support it. You can do this by going to Screen and Video, Video Output, and go down to this enable 120Hz output range. It's set on automatic by default, but you can turn it off if you want to. While we're in the video output section, you can now disable HDR when it's not natively supported. The PS5 by default includes all software in a HDR wrapper, which tries to replicate the effect of the feature. However, this new toggle allows you to adjust HDR to only display when it's natively supported, which means that it'll turn the feature off when you play a game without native HDR support. By default, when you boot a game, Sony will check the PlayStation Plus's cloud to ensure that the save data you're using is the most recent version. However, you can now check the status of that sync by pushing the options button and checking this option here, which will show you the sync status of saved data. You can see here that everything is synced and ready to go. Back in the system settings, if you go down to the system option and go to HDMI, there are these new HDMI device link properties. Enable power off link will put the PlayStation 5 into rest mode when you turn off your TV or monitor that's attached to the system, whereas if you enable one touch play, this will, once you turn on your TV, automatically switch to the correct channel for your PlayStation 5, and these can be activated separately from one another, which is nice. Another nice UI feature that should hopefully also save you some space on your precious SSD, in the settings menu, if you go all the way down to the captures and broadcasts section, you can now choose what trophy type the console will save videos for. By default, when you first bought your PlayStation 5, the console would automatically save video clips for every single trophy you achieved on the system. Now, I'm sure, like me, most of you turned this off as soon as you got the console because you didn't want your hard drive clogged up with a bunch of bronze trophy videos. However, now you can make the system only record those videos for specific trophy grades. For instance, if you only want to capture your platinum trophy winning moments, you can do so, which is very, very nice. This is a small but pretty handy change. New text specifies your status on PlayStation 5. Sony already differentiates between players on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 by showing a symbol of each console next to your name, but if you're idling on a main menu, then the console will now make it extra clear that you're online on PlayStation 5. Another nice UI change, this time for your game library. If you go all the way over to the game library icon on your home screen, you can now hide games from your library if you don't want to see them in this massive list. Now, once that game has been hidden, as it's telling me here, I can go to the sort and filter icon on the left. I can show hidden items, which will just show me the item that I've hidden. And if I want to, I can unhide it and add it back to my library. This is a nice feature to hide games that you may not want in your game library anymore. For instance, this Guilty Gear Strive demo. Why do I want to see that? Goodbye. And that is it for our list of 12 hidden features included as part of the first major firmware update for the PlayStation 5. If you found this video helpful, please do consider giving it a like and make sure to subscribe to Push Square for everything PlayStation. Thank you as always for watching.